Hello, and welcome to my channel. Alright, so, before the end of the year, I'll be right back, actually. I'm back. Okay, so, we're basically just doing a 2025 year review. So, for 2025, there was a lot that happened, and so, yeah, we kicked off the year with IFT3 with Spaceship Mark 1. Spaceship Mark 1 has also already been burnt, and there should be just one piece of it laying around somewhere. Then, on May 18th, 2025, we had IFT4 and the Centaur V2 static fire that was prepping for its first flight. And then April 24th, and then before that, April 24th, 2025, we saw Centaur V1 make its first and only flight. Centaur V1 is not retired, though, because, well, Centaur V1, yes, there's Centaur V1A. Somewhere over there. Then on August 19th, from August 19th till the end of August, there was a lot that happened, such as on the 19th, we had IFT5, which was the first launch for Block 1. Then we had, S5 static fire. The reason why I air quoted that, would be because it got off the ground, a good 2 feet off the ground. So, yeah. Then, on the 25th, we had the Booster 3 static fire, and then on August 31st, we finished off with Demo 1, which that so far has put us at 5 launches, just from March to the end of August, with more to come. On September 2nd, we had Ship 5, or S5's static fire number 2, or in its first static fire. It's complex. Then on the 3rd, just one day later, we had IFT6. Now, if you're not getting the memo, my company likes to build fast, launch fast, and go bankrupt pretty fast as well. So let's continue. We had 2 launches on the 13th, or my birthday party. We had, the first launch was with New Jarvis, which was like at 4 o'clock sometime that day. New Jarvis made a record with 200-ish feet in the air, which is the highest a in-house, aka a fully in-house built rocket has ever flown. Then later that day at about 7 o'clock, I think, Centaur V2 launched for the SK1 mission. There's something about that launch. We're not gonna talk anymore about that launch, besides 2 things. Well, the second thing I'm not gonna talk about, but one, it flipped myself off. One, the launch nearly killed someone. And the launch straight up did a little like a ballerina, and then plummeted down right at my aunt. She made it out unharmed, though. Thank God she is not fat and can't run. you can run. Then on the 16th, just 3 days later, Tab did a static fire. Tab, I believe, stood for Test Article Booster for Atlas, which never flew and never proceeded, I guess. Then, and that was it for September. And in September, there were 3 launches and 2 static fires. And then October 7th, we had a pretty sad launch. IFT-7 made its retirement launch. And what I mean by the retirement launch was it was the launch that retired the program. So now it does not mean that spaceship hardware, not meaning my upcoming rocket, is completely gone. You can see a little bit of spaceship hardware on Superior. Superior 2A. Anyways, on October 12th, we had the launch of Transporter 2. That was more or less just a static fire and a waste of $30 of a launch. Really, $20 for me because, well, one, the ride-along customer never paid the whole price. And yeah. And then on the 21st, we had the IPA-1 launch. You can look at my channel. It ran on a bottle filled with isopropyl alcohol, just a little bit, hopefully, or which was hoped to produce just enough thrust to at least lift it somewhat off the pad. It didn't even move an atom. I mean, I'm sure it did. It just didn't move even like a millimeter. It just... And then to finish off October, we had the launch of Demo 2, which, again, you can check on my channel. Wasn't the best. And that was the launch that retired the Weller capsule, which I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to shut up and continue. Then, in November, we had 4 Neutron events. First one happened on the 6th, which was the Neutron static fire. Had pretty bad aft damage, so after 6 days of repair, and getting prepped for another one on the 12th, it had a hot fire. Now, for my company, the difference between a hot fire and a static fire, big, strong, powerful engine, which more or less would be used for flight. This static fire was not used for flight. The Neutron hot fire, like I said, occurred on the 12th, and that ran on an A10-3T, I think. Then on the 17th, just 5 days later, we had the Neutron launch for Xenon 1, which was the most successful launch for Neutron. On the 24th, just a week later, Neutron Flight 2 happened for Demo 3, where it launched, and I just see it right here, this little tube, launched the Starforge pod named Hope, for Demo 3. Thank God I'm also not fat and I can run. My brother's probably sitting over here laughing his butt off, thinking, you're fat, Trathan. I am not fat. I'm not fit. Huge difference. But I had to run for my life because that rocket got off the pad and came flying right at me. And if you do go to the video, you will hear me saying a bunch of cuss words after I thought my life was about to be taken. And that is the launches for 2025. Now, before we kick off and do our final KLI video for 2025, I would like to give a full tour of my facility and talk about what you can expect from KLI in 2025. So we're gonna kick off the first thing. My company got a lovely 3D printer. We have just been 3D printing away. Ignore the 3 failures. So my brother just asked if it was pause, and he's like, "Man, shut up." I gotta be mean to you, Justin. So yeah, we've just been like making shovels. Apparently, yeah, these are shovels. At least that's what it's put in as. This is like a fire design. This one I was trying to go with a space design, but switching the colors kind of didn't work with me. So got a bunch of stickers, and then got a bunch of different colored filament with of a lot more coming next week. Now, people, if you've seen my last 2 videos I've made on Christmas and then just before Christmas, if any of you guys have subscribed, liked, and commented from that, I will get ready to start 3D printing your object that you specially commented to have done. We have the real flight article fairing being prepped and made, and etc., etc., etc. Now you're probably thinking, well, what the heck, Trathan? Didn't you make this beautiful fairing? Yes, but it's also a test article, and I'm sure you can tell that does not look like a circle. But yes, it is going to more than likely be hanged. We got a lovely, way bigger desk. You could just fit, like, this is how big the desk used to be. Like, I'm trying to get a good picture. Got about 1, 2, 3. Let's get back now. So I got about this much of room, and it could just barely fit this chair. That's not fun. So, with this extra room, we're able to get these 2 chairs in here, and we're able to get this lovely thing up here, so we're not having to bend over. We have installed little, like, hangers, coat, towel, for imprint shirt, and these 2, for the respirator and goggles. Then you can just see the 2 rockets. Speaking of which, here's Centaur V1A. It, is smaller, I think lighter, than Centaur V1. Still, no recovery system. Way sexier, and I truly mean it, way freaking sexier. And this hand, and then this, paint job was done all by hand with marker. And the difference between V1 and V1A, V1A has fins, V1 does not. Just like every other Centaur rocket. Okay, and now time for the moment you guys have probably been waiting for, Superior. Superior is a rocket that is supposed to really kickstart my, it's supposed to really kickstart my company and am being dead freaking serious when I say that. My company is expecting to get 50 launches next year. That's about a launch every 8 days. That's going to be really pushing it for the company. It's going to be very expensive for the company, but I truly believe that we might, my company might actually be able to reach that goal. And then we got a little piddle tap break. This is Daisy. She likes knocking over rockets. And thank God she's so cute, because I'd beat the living crap out of her with all the rockets she's broken. I would never do that to a cat, by the way. Protect the pooter tats. And then, Superior is 1.5 times larger than Neutron there. We are planning on the rocket using 2 E motors, or possibly even 2 D motors. We're probably gonna go with the D motors, mainly because they're cheaper, and I don't know why. But Superior 2A can also be reconfigured for Superior 3A. It's a heavier lift version of Superior, and it can carry way more, and launch heavier objects. Superior Heavy, which is similar to Falcon Heavy, has 2 strap-on boosters, 1 main core. Superior Heavy is supposed to make a maiden flight in possible 2027, 2028, down at the Prop Floppers District 3, down here in the Defiance Reservoir. So, the moment you guys have been waiting for. I'm broke. This is Superior. Now you're probably thinking, well, can we just stop you right there? Those fins do not look even at all. Well, they're not supposed to be. These 2 fins are larger, these 2 fins are smaller, similar to Starship V3. There's 2 fins that are larger, 2 fins smaller. We are only taking off on this design mainly to continue the kind of like a Starship look. But yeah. This thing's like a pound. And she's gonna go to the moon! But I recently made an Amazon order. I'm gonna be getting a computer, from Lenovo, whatever, on, Wednesday. This was a $182 computer, and it's going to be used for my lovely 3D printer to help design and a bunch of other frickin'. Not only will it help with my computer, but it will also be used for KLI overall to help not only just entertain with YouTube videos, because why not? Am I right? Why not? I just said why not? Why not? And a bunch of other stuff that's really going to help the company. Superior, I do not have a name for this rocket booster. So if any of you guys can think of a lovely name for booster 1 or SB1 or our overall like 20th booster, I cannot think. This is a lovely inside. Doesn't that look pretty crappy? You can thank the parchment paper. Because I use a PVC pipe mold. A PVC pipe and epoxy love each other. I mean, love each other. And they kind of made it out, and I spent about too much money just trying to get it off. I was like I said, huge waste of money. Let's get away from that road. Alright, well, this was the final update for KLI. We have a bunch of other rockets, and I will be coming out with another video today or even tomorrow about a full-on factory tour. And I will be having a cameraman. He will ask all the questions that he would like, and as we do this whole tour. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Go check out my other videos if you would like to have your name hung on the wall and a 3D print made, especially from you. Even though subscribing does not make me money, I'm not choosing that option. Subscribers just helps gain viewers, and that is going to really help. Now, if you know me and I hope you do not know where I live, or if you know where the church I go to or whatever, and if you want to drop off some money to help with the company, feel free. I am not bribing you to or telling you to. Just an offer. See you later.